I'm here to honestly help as many contractors or service-based business out there that are stuck in this. I want to grow on social media. I want to have an online presence. I want to grow a brand that everybody recognizes and trusts. I know it's not easy trying to grow a brand on social media, but it's so rewarding and you get the most leverage from actually growing a brand that it just makes no sense why not. But this right here, what you're going to learn is how to articulate your brand voice with your captions. Because captions is another part of your brand, and anybody that is serious and looking into your business, they're reading. Every time that you post something on social media, you're competing with hundreds of other pieces of content: vacation videos, vacation photos, memes, news, other contractors. But here's a question you need to answer before you write a single word in your captions. Why would a homeowner stop scrolling for this piece of content? Most contractors, they don't ask this question. So they write captions that are like super simple, super basic, super vague: new deck installed, complete. Call us for a free quote. Or like, we do quality work at a fair price. Or another job done right. Contact us today. And you're probably guilty if you've done this before, but nobody's stopping. Nobody stops scrolling for that. Not because you're not good at what you do, but because those captions don't speak to what the homeowner is actually thinking about. They're scrolling because something probably already happened. Something stressed them out. Something they saw made them nervous. Your job as a contractor is to meet them where they're at. And that starts with the very first line of your caption. Your first line, it shouldn't be about you. It's about them, specifically their fears. Before we talk about how to write the first line, you need to understand why fear-based hooks work. They're actually the most honest thing that you can do. And let me tell you this: a psychology principle that almost every marketer, every copywriter, every salesperson knows is that people are more motivated to avoid pain than to seek pleasure. This is called loss aversion, and it's one of the most documented findings in human psychology. In plain terms, the fear of a $15,000 foundation problem is stronger than the excitement of a beautiful new home or a beautiful new kitchen. The anxiety of of hiring the wrong contractor is louder than the joy of finding the right one. Now let's apply this to your business. What are homeowners actually afraid of when it comes to contractors? I'm going to give you 5 core homeowner fears, and I want you to write these down. Fear number 1 is going to be getting ripped off or overcharged. Fear number 2 is going to be hiring someone who does bad work and probably disappears. Fear number 3 is a project that never gets finished. Fear number 4 is hidden damages behind the walls that they didn't know about. And then fear number 5 is not knowing enough to ask the right questions. Every single one of those fears is real. Every homeowner has either experienced one, knows someone who has, or spent nights just Googling horror stories about it because they're all over the internet, right? These are not just pain points. These are the thoughts homeowners have at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night before they go to bed after getting maybe like 3 other quotes. When your first caption line speaks directly to one of those fears, the homeowner doesn't just notice it, they actually feel seen. And the moment someone feels seen, they stop, they read, they engage, they feel comfortable with you. That's not manipulation. That's empathy expressed in a copywriting form. You're saying, I know what you're going through and I have an answer. Now, let's build your tool. The fear factor formula has 3 components. I'm going to give you all 3, explain each one, and then I'm going to show you examples so you can literally copy the framework right now. If you have a pen and paper, great, write this down. And if you don't, go get a pen and paper. That's the reason why you're watching this. Write this: fear trigger plus specificity plus the pivot. Component number 1 is going to be the fear trigger. This is the opening image or the opening statement that names a fear that homeowners already have. It doesn't invent a problem. It surfaces one that already exists in the homeowner's head. The rule here is that you are specific. You're being specific, not no vague fear, because that doesn't land. Something that's weak is somebody saying or a company saying, worried about your roof, question mark. A strong one would be, most homeowners don't know their roof has a problem until water is already inside the walls. See, there's a difference there. The second one is more cinematic. It puts a picture in their mind. a specific terrifying picture that they now cannot unseen. Now, component number 2 is specificity. Specificity is what separates a caption that feels like content from one that feels like expertise. So you have to include numbers, time frames, material names. These are the details that make homeowners think like, oh yeah, this person actually knows what they're talking about. It's almost like it happens instantly as soon as they read it. So comparing these would be like a weak, let's just say an electrician. A weak one would be like, bad electrical work can be dangerous. Well, yeah, obviously. Whoops. A strong one would be a double taped breaker is one of the most common fire hazards we find in homes built before 1990, and most homeowners have no idea it's there. You see how that second one builds your credibility all in one sentence? That homeowner just learned something. They're more likely to trust you because of that second caption, follow you, and eventually hire you. So here's an exercise that you can use. Think of the last 3 projects you did. What was one specific problem you found that the homeowner didn't know about? And then you have component number 3, the pivot. The pivot is the turn at the end of your first line or sometimes the second line. That moves the homeowner from fear towards hope. This is critical because fear alone is you're just giving people anxiety. So fear plus direction equals power. Now, let me be clear. The pivot doesn't have to be a full solution in your caption. It's just a signal that you're saying, I know how to fix this. You don't have to figure this all out alone. A weak ending that I see contractors put a lot is something like, oh, so make sure you hire someone reputable. A strong example would be, here's what to ask before you sign anything. The pivot is going to give the homeowner a reason to keep reading. It tells them the rest of this caption has value for me.